Previously on the Simchelor Daddy Edition, 10 contestants met Pedro Pascal, and 2 successfully managed to go on a date with him. Unfortunately, Anya Fonseca was eliminated from the competition, and this week, Pedro will meet 10 new contestants who have no idea that the other 10 exist. This is The Simchelor, a Sims reality dating show where single and sexy Sims vie for the attention of a handsome single man. This season is filled with twists, turns, and drama, and a surprise that no one will be expecting. 20 will start the competition. Who will win the Simchelor Daddy? Welcome back to another episode of the Simchelor Daddy Edition. Last week we met 10 contestants who had no idea that 10 more were also existing in the world. This week, Pedro will meet those 10 contestants and will choose 2 to go on dates with. Of those 2, only 1 will receive an eggplant, and that night, 1 of the house contestants will be eliminated. Next week, all the contestants get to meet in an epic showdown, which no one is ready for. It is a Tuesday and Pedro Pascal is ready to meet the next 10 contestants. Are you ready to see who they are? We will be heading to the house with him, and we will meet them and see who he connects with, if he connects with anyone at all. Hopefully he does, because there's 1 eggplant on the line. Shall we? Here we are at the second house, ready to meet all of the other 10 contestants this season. The first one that's here is Gina Simmons. Let's go ahead and say hi to her. She has a very high voice. She's completely purple. Pedro has learned Gina's romantic orientation. She's exploring. Have we learned anything then? I want to know if she's an alien, but that might not be the best thing to ask her. So let's just give her a little pep talk that she is definitely going to do very well in the competition, because I can already tell. And she's given him flirty faces already. It's a little bit early, but I mean, we'll see what she wants to do. He doesn't mind. He seems to find her attractive, and he's feeling playful. We have Caden Crimson here, another member who just scared her. Let's go ahead and say hi to him. It's now become very uncomfortable now that he's here. Gina says goodbye, and he seems to really like Pedro. He's very cute. I love his cardigan. Pedro really wants to kiss someone. We're still holding on to that whim from last week. He looks like someone who might like fantasy novels, fantasy stories, knights, dragons, the whole shablam. It's still very uncomfortable, so I'm wondering if maybe the 2 of them are not vibing. Now Pedro feels extremely awkward about that conversation. We should probably go inside and meet the others. Let's go ahead and knock on the door and see what's going on the inside. In the other house, everyone seemed to have a lot of sexual chemistry with each other and almost none with Pedro, which I thought was odd. Here we are inside. We have the 2 that we've already met, and we have a 1 Cyrus Durant here. He looks like he was just out in the pool. I wonder what he's into. He seems like he likes jokes. Pedro and him are talking about it. Feels very confident, and it's very pleasant as of right now. However, he immediately got up and walked away as soon as Pedro started talking to him. So that's not a good sign. Kayla and Hayden Black are having sex. Great. So we already have 2 that are down on the list. We have another sim out here. Her name is Liliana Foy. Let's go ahead and say hello to her. I will say, I feel like this house meeting feels significantly more awkward than the last one. I don't know, his energy doesn't really seem super comfortable with any of them so far. Who knows if we'll have any positive encounters in this house, even a little bit. Hayden Black is now having sex with Caden and Kayla. Seems the same problem as before. It looks like she's giving him flirty eyes though. And she says City Hall offers quick weddings for those visits who can't wait another day. Oh, that's pretty forward. That's very forward, ma'am. I appreciate that you're already talking about marriage, but that seems like kind of a red flag. This early? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that. We have another member out here. Her name is Kinley. I love her outfit. This teal is really working for her. It's a lovely jumpsuit. Ah, her eyebrows are fierce. It seems that Liliana is really trying to get in this conversation. She seems kind of jealous. She's totally inserted herself back into the conversation, even though we weren't talking to her again. But it looks like Kinley seems to be pretty excited about him too. They are giving flirty faces and I'm loving this. You know what? I will absolutely take the initiative. And it seems like Pedro's into it too. It seems like the conversation is going pretty good. She's making conversation back with him. He doesn't seem particularly uncomfortable around her. He just seems very pleasant, which is good. He feels energized. He's living bold and ambitiously. And it looks like Kinley is coming back. So, I mean, of everybody so far, the two of them seem to be making the most moves. They haven't walked away from him just yet. Also, GeekCon is in town, so potentially maybe we can go on a date there if it goes well enough. Someone else has come out here. This is Shauna Higa, who we already have a negative relationship with. I don't think we've even met. Why do we already have a bad relationship with her? Sentiments about Shauna. Adoring sentiment. Pedro wants the best for Shauna and thinks she's wonderful. Fascinating. Already? My horoscope told me I'm going to have sex this week, so I thought I would ask. We literally just met. Horoscope, do you also believe in mole people? I'm so sorry. That was extremely fast and forward. I think that was kind of a killer right there. Ooh, I don't think we've met Alexandra Estep yet. She is in I can't tell if this is a bathing suit or if this is a night dress, but she's very cute. It looks like Pedro's feeling confident as he's chatting with her. That's definitely a good thing. She seems kind of bored with him. Her answers are kind of blasé, but she is feeling flirty. I'm thinking that maybe she's not necessarily interested in anything he has to say, more than just sort of being interested in wanting to woohoo with him, which I understand, and it looks like Pedro's kind of interested in the same thing, but we gotta get to know you a little bit first. She seems nice, and she's very enthusiastic about her hobbies. Pedro immediately gets on his phone. There's a little cowboy over here. Let's go ahead and meet him. This is Gino Vo. His body is banging. Let's go say hi to him. It was very nice to meet you. Oh, he's coming over to us? We didn't even need to go to him. But he is very interested in what's going on TV. Just some type of cooking show. He's very cute. Let's see what we can find out about him. He seems nice. He seems very sweet. He likes cooking. We know that much about him. But as soon as we sit down to talk to him, he leaves. So it's kind of awkward. Let's go ahead and meet Hayden. It looks like Pedro's got a negative relationship with him too. It looks like maybe he might be grilling some food. It looks like a fire started. Pedro's discovered the fire. We're gonna have to take care of this. That's definitely some negative points for Hayden, considering that he just left. He started a fire and walked away from it, and we already don't have a great relationship with him in the first place. Don't worry, Daddy will take care of everything, since it seems that none of you want to take any initiative at all. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. It's okay. And now he thinks about making a balloon animal. Great, I love that. There's someone we haven't met. Her name is Kayla Goldsmith. Let's go say hi to her. Her outfit's very cute. She's dressed very well. I love her styling. It really means a lot that you make time for me. Just wanted to let you know. A sentiment gained already? He feels he's growing closer with her. That he's gotten some good quality time. That's definitely good from the start. I'm kind of interested in where this is gonna go. He definitely seems to like her and be responding well. I'm curious what else she likes and what else she's into. He keeps feeling uncomfortable about these. There are a few more people we have not met yet, so let's see if we can find them. Who is this? Is that Bella Goth? I hate that. Let's head upstairs. There's gotta be some others that we haven't met yet. This is a very cute setup that they've got. Oh, someone is self-woohooing. Love that for them. It's Alexandra. Great, good for her. These walls aren't painted. Definitely upsetting. There's gotta be more that we haven't met yet. He's very handsome. And it seems like everybody in the house is kind of into him as well. Hayden is having sex with Kinley. No! No! So that's why he won't say hi to him. Pedro is now terrified. He's got looming dread. It seems that he's discovered something new about himself, something that he didn't realize was there before, and it was a fear of fire. Well, it seems that they've both finished. I don't understand what this little glass door is, but we still need to say hi to him. And, it's kind of awkward because they were literally just woohooing in front of us. Pedro keeps trying to say hi. Maybe there's something about this guy that we're just not seeing. It's feeling flirty. Maybe it was because Pedro was standing there watching them woohoo. So you and Kinley, I guess, are kind of a thing? What do you think about her? Are you enjoying her? Is that why you were woohooing just now? Are you interested even slightly? I like Kinley. She's pretty cool. Yeah, it certainly seemed like from what you were doing to her body just now that you seem to kind of like her. It's kind of casual. He's got no sentiments about Hayden at all. Just based off initial impressions, it seems like the way this house has kind of progressed is kind of mid. I think we need to go outside and discuss Pedro's thoughts, which I can't imagine are very positive. But it was nice to meet you, I guess. Okay, so how are you feeling about everybody that we've met so far? Any thoughts, any feelings, any opinions? Let's go ahead and go through our notebook and see what we think about everyone. So first off, how are you feeling about Kinley right now? He thinks that she looks attractive. My biggest problem was the woohoo, like, right in front of him. I think that kind of dings her a little bit. We did have a pretty good, I don't know, she was nice to meet, but I just don't know if it was a very positive impression just based off of that. Let's talk about Caden, who Pedro kind of thinks just looks attractive. If I'm being honest, he was just sort of there for me. I didn't really think anything positively or negatively of him, and I feel like Pedro kind of feels the same way. Now let's talk about Shanna Higa. Pedro thinks that she looks very attractive, and I definitely think that's a good thing. However, the immediate asking for sex was kind of a really big red flag, especially before we've even decided that we're going to go on a date. If you wanted to woohoo while we were on a date, I would understand that, but this was just an immediate sit down, hi, how are you, would you like to woohoo right now? That, to me, feels kind of like maybe her intentions are not really to meet somebody, but more rather to get, like, pounded down. So now let's talk about Alexandra Esteep. Pedro sort of just thinks that she looks attractive. For me, she was kind of there as well. I liked her aesthetic, and I think she looks really cute. I love her hairstyle a lot. But she's sort of just there for me. I want to see what she can give if we give her another week. So how are we feeling about Cyrus? Because he was really cute. Pedro thinks that he looks very attractive, which I think is a good thing, because I think he's got a very nice look. I could see him looking very cute next to Pedro. I think that he's sort of just mid right now. His personality has yet to emerge. And now let's talk about one of the most awkward encounters so far, which was Hayden Black. I really feel like this was one of the worst ones of the day. And everybody was really aloof, so that's saying something. But I think there is something to say about the fact that everybody wants to woohoo with him. He probably knows what he's doing, but does that give him a pass for being a hoe? I don't know. Not on the first day of meeting the person that you were potentially trying to court long term. It didn't set well with me at all. So now let's discuss Gino Vo, who Pedro does think looks very attractive. I think that has something to do with maybe the Catboy aesthetic. He's got a very fuzzy chest. I liked that a lot, but we're going off of first impressions, and he didn't really make one. Besides looking cute, he didn't act cute. I don't know. I think he's sort of just here as well. So now moving on to Gina. I love her. I don't know. There's something really magnetic about her personality and that alien facade that she is not hiding at all. She's not even trying to pretend to blend in with humans. I love that. She seems really confident and straightforward right off the get. So I'm kind of feeling her right now. Pedro thinks she looks very attractive. I think they had nice chemistry while talking. She seemed to want to engage with him. I think she did great this week. She was one of the few that it stood out to me that I remember after the fact. So now let's discuss Kyla Goldsmith, who I think made a strong impression while being there. I liked her vibe. She gives me someone who's pretty laid back. She doesn't take herself too seriously. I like her look. I think her look is one of the strongest in the bunch. And she seems interested in him, which I think is good. And he finds her attractive, which is great. And now I think we need to talk about one of the worst ones of the week. Liliana Foy, who kind of immediately went into the marriage conversation. I wasn't really enjoying that vibe. Going from 0 to 100, it's kind of sort of on par with where we were at with Shauna, where she just went from 0 to 100. And I think for me, the two of them really seemed like their intentions were very clear from the get-go, which on one hand I can appreciate, but you can't put all of your cards on the table right away before you've even gotten to do anything. You gotta lay one card out at a time. And she didn't do that. So I think it's pretty clear who the top two were this week. The only ones who made an even vaguely sort of impression. So we're going to see if both of them want to go on a date. We're going to go ahead and start with Kayla and see if she would like to hang out. We're not even going to go back in there. This was, I think, a rough house to deal with. I liked the other group better, if I'm being honest. So he's currently asking her out, and it looks like she said no. She totally said no. She rejected him. Oh. Well, now Shauna is coming out. Well, this is incredibly awkward. Let's see if Gina wants to go out then. I can't believe she said no. This whole house is so awkward. Gina at least said yes. I would love to go somewhere nearby. We went to the lounge last week and we're gonna go again just to remain fair to everyone. Well, here we are with Gina, our lovely date. We want to get to know her a little bit more because we didn't really get a chance to do so at the house. Everything was so awkward and tense. She is an egghead and I love that about her. I don't like that it's a boring conversation. We're supposed to socialize with our date. She doesn't really know about herself either. Well, I thought this was gonna go well. Wait. She just, we were about to ask her questions and get to know her, and she just did something to our brain. I'm so confused what just happened. She just erased all of our memories of her. This is so awkward. It's now very tense. I feel like that's not good at all. She was the standout from the week, and now I think I'm thinking maybe this is not a good fit then. After that, hold on, production's gotta step in here. I'm gonna go ahead and end the date now. She can go ahead and head home. And on that matter, I will also be sending Pedro home as well. That is completely unacceptable. What do we even do about all this now? I really wasn't expecting it to go this way. I think we need to make a couple of decisions. This was kind of an awful week for everybody. I thought there was one person who did really well, and then the date ended terribly. In a mental assault, essentially. We had one person who was the standout who said no to a date. We had someone immediately talking about marriage, someone immediately asking for woohoo before we even met. I'm thinking something drastic needs to happen, but I don't know what the right decision is going to be. If I make this call, is it going to be the right one? All right, well, Pedro, you get some rest. You deserve it. And we're gonna head back to the house. Have a good night. So sorry about this awful date. The contestants are all out here, and if I'm being honest, I kind of want to just recast everyone because this was so painfully awful, but I feel like that would be unfair to everyone that didn't do awful this week. But this was probably one of the most miserable sets of introductions that I've seen in the history of this show. And if I could eliminate 9 of you and send 1 of you to the other house, I would do that. But I'm not going to, because some of you, I think, have a lot of potential. Based off of this week and this week alone, I am going to be sending the one person home who mentally assaulted in our Simchelor. And that is going to be Gina Simmons, despite me thinking that you had the most potential of everyone here. But I don't think that's going to be all. Based off of this week and how everyone performed, I think that we're going to have to make an adjustment. The person that I believe deserves the most to go to the house is Caden Crimson first off. I do believe the other Sim who deserves to move on to the other house is going to be Alexandra Esteep. I'm so disappointed with how this week went. I don't think I could have been more disappointed. Who is this? And why are you here on the property? This is where we're filming a show. I also believe that Cyrus deserves to get to stay and will be able to move on to the next house. The next Sim that I do believe deserves a chance to get to show off a little more of who they are as well as their personality is going to be Gino Vo. Are you kidding me? I don't know who you are or why you're here, and we're filming a show, so I'm gonna need you to not be here. The 5 of you performed extremely poorly this week, and one of you I thought was going to be in the top, and you said no to a date with the person that you are here to meet. And because of that, I will need to eliminate Kayla Goldsmith. And now we're down to 4. I will also be eliminating both Shanna Higa as well as Liliana Foy. So only 2 remain. And I'm tempted to eliminate both of you as well. The 2 of you I feel conflicted on because Hayden, you only were having sex with the other members of the house, and Kinley, you also engaged as well, and seemed more interested in each other than they did in Pedro. And again, that shouldn't come without consequence. They seem to want to be together, and it seems more fair that the 2 of them should be able to go on together rather than stay here and waste time. Doesn't matter how attractive Pedro may have found them. It was quite disrespectful to keep woohooing in front of him while he was just trying to say hi. And I think based off of the initial impression, I will also be eliminating the 2 of you. This was certainly not the split premiere that I was expecting, and I was not planning on eliminating so many contestants in one go. Now this completely knocks out what next week's challenge was supposed to be. I think ahead of schedule, because of how badly this all went, we should meet the other family now. Bring them all into one house. I think it would only be fair. In the morning, the contestants will meet each other, and this split premiere will now become a brand new premiere. As the sun rises over the house, it is time for us to move out and meet the others. This is the brand new Simchelor mansion where all of the members will be staying together. I think next week is going to be extremely interesting because now things are different. Come back next week for yet another episode of Simchelor Daddy Edition. What an episode. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.